I'm Jonathan Fearon. I work for a company called Farsight Consulting Limited. My job there is head of service delivery, so I'm account manager across a number of major projects. And in terms of coaching, we use coaching across all our company as a way to sort of support our teams. I got into coaching maybe 15 years ago. I probably spent a lot of time in more sort of esoteric things around NLP and hypnosis. And then because I work in the corporate world, coaching was the perfect sort of way to bring personal development into a sort of more legitimate environment. So coaching seemed to be a way to channel all my interests around personal development into conversations with people. And so I started to look around, understand what coaching was. It means a whole variety of different things depending on how you speak, who you speak to. For me, though, it was all around looking at the ICF model of coaching. ICF had a very particular methodology around coaching, a very strong meaning around what coaching is. And I found that appeal because it gave me a very good standard to sort of base my approach around. So in terms of discovering Tracy, I spoke to a number of people I knew who were in the kind of coaching world, and Tracy's name came up. She's kind of one of the experts. She's one of those people who, I've got the book on the shelf. She's got such deep knowledge. It was a kind of no-brainer to go with Tracy. And I reached out to her, first of all, to do some mentor coaching originally, and I had a really great experience of that. So when it came time to sort of broaden my skills and progress in the kind of coaching world, I just went straight back to Tracy to look at what she could do. The Art and Alchemy program is a course that enables you to move from an ACC, an Associate Certified Coach level in the International Coaching Federation, and move to that professional certified coaching. And that for me was the journey I was on to increase my skills and move up to the PCC level. So looking at Tracy's course, it was an advanced level coaching course for people with plenty of practical experience, who'd had plenty of previous training, and who wanted to learn both from Tracy and her teaching sort of colleagues as well, but also the other people who were on the course. And looking at what was in the syllabus on the course, it just felt a fantastic course to really bring to life all those different PCC level skills that you need to develop. I think the Art and Alchemy course has enhanced certainly my professional life in terms of the coaching skills I've developed, but those coaching skills can apply across all the day-to-day work conversations you have. The things you learn on the course around deep listening, understanding the space between words, being really in tune to people's body language. They're all things that come up, especially when you're on sort of virtual calls all day long. And so I found, as well as enhancing your coaching skills and really understanding at a much deeper level what coaching is and the kind of things you should be both offering and looking out for when you're coaching, it's a fantastic attribute that you can apply to so many different things. So I think it's an amazing impact on both personal and professional. On the personal side, I think I've just become an all-round, more aware person. I think it gets you much more present in conversations, to be much more aware of what people are saying, what people aren't saying, and also to spot your own patterns of behavior as well, to see how you're showing up on calls. And that combination of just sort of being really in the moment, responding to the words, the body language, the silences, all those different things which are always part of a conversation, but they're not necessarily things that we're all trained to spot. And that's what I found that course really enhanced my skills in, just that constant awareness. I think one thing I've developed since the course is a reflective practice. That's one thing we talked about a lot. And it's about how you learn from what you do, which sounds very obvious, but it wasn't something I was doing before. So one big difference then is I record conversations, I listen to them, I compare those against the PCC markers and the kind of things that best practice would indicate is a good coaching conversation. And I think, what could I do better next time? And by having that sort of continual sort of learning cycle of like listening, reflecting, spending some time thinking about what I'm doing. I wasn't doing that beforehand. So that's been a really, really good bonus I've got from the course. I think other things I've developed would be around just presence on calls, being much more in the moment, getting out of my own head into the call, just being really focused on the person you're with. And that has had massive sort of benefits to me in terms of how my coaching's improved, and work conversations as well. Certainly when I did the ACC levels, I got a great overview of what coaching is all about. And I would say that a lot of my kind of coaching is probably quite transactional then. And as you go through the Art and Alchemy course, you move into a different kind of model around coaching. So it's not just what you're doing, it's also about who you're being in the moment. And the combination of that, doing all those techniques and tools that you can use in coaching, combined with like the who you're being, the who I am in the moment, that's where the alchemy comes into it. It's that entire holistic view that all those tools and techniques, they're great, but actually the much more powerful bit is you showing up as a coach in order to get the most transformative experience for the coaches you can. And those are the kind of techniques, philosophies, approaches that you get on that Art and Alchemy course. So in my organisation, coaching is a really valued discipline, and all people in the organisation get assigned a coach. So with my coaches, I've managed to actually use those skills on a day-to-day basis. I work from home a lot of the time, I'm pretty virtual. So being able to just bring that into conversations and calls online has been a massive bonus. We have specific coaching conversations with people, and it's a whole new set of skills I've managed to bring as well. So it's a great plus in terms of the presence, the powerful questioning, understanding the coachees' agendas, and just listening as well. And I think all those things in a work context are particularly valuable because we're all on calls all the time, and very often people aren't listening to each other. People aren't thinking, what does the other person need from this call? And that's what coaching can really give. So that's how I've used it at work. It's been very practical. It's definitely not something that's like an add-on or that I operate as a coach over here. It's just something you integrate day to day. So that's been a great plus for me. So I guess one thing I've been thinking about for a long time is, how do I contribute to the world? I've got my job. I've always had the coaching that I've done as a sort of bit of a portfolio career. And I think in terms of contribution to the world, for me, it can only happen like at the individual level, that every person can individually make a difference. And for me, what I can do is I can bring my skills into coaching conversations with people outside work. So I volunteer across a number of government coaching organisations. As part of that, I volunteer within the health service, within central government, and that gives me an opportunity to provide coaching, very often pro bono, for free, to deserving organisations. So making changes like one step at a time. For me, I can do that, especially in the health service. That's been a great thing I've been doing, coaching a number of people in the NHS, and all the skills I've built up as part of that course have really helped me broaden my skill set. And I found there's quite a big demand for people who want coaching. So it's a skill that people want. And I think if you can bring that, it does change the world, because it changes individuals and that changes their lives. It changes their personal life, their family life, their work life. And so that ripple effect spreads out. For anyone who's considering enrolling on the Art and Alchemy course, have no hesitation, just go for it. It is a superb course. The quality of the teaching and the caliber of the people that you would also be on the course with are just second to none. I've been on a lot of coaching courses. I've attended lots of webinars. This is like at a different league. It is so in depth. It is so insightful. And with Tracy and also the rest of her coaching team as well, you are going to get years and years of experience every time you attend one of those sessions. So yeah, no hesitation. It is an absolutely in-depth course that really covers all the best practice elements, as well as going very deep on the ICF markers at PCC level, at the professional level. Tracy also has an entire body of knowledge and philosophies that she's developed over the years as well. So you're definitely getting to be an expert in PCC and what that's all about and the markers you need to look at, but also you're doing a whole set of thinking around coaching, what it is as well. So it really broadens out your thinking around coaching and how you can use it in very practical ways. And one fantastic aspect of the course was the peer coaching. So as well as learning all the theory, we were continuously in peer coaching sessions And what was really interesting is the people I was coaching with were all around the world. I was working with people in Iceland, in France, in Saudi Arabia. And that was great because, as well as having very genuine opportunities to practice your coaching, you also picked up a lot of nuances around how does coaching operate in different countries around the world. And that was just things I had no knowledge of. So that was a fantastic eye-opener just to see a much broader international perspective on coaching as well. One really interesting thing that came up as part of the course was that it's an ongoing journey. You are never really a master coach. There is always the next hill to climb. So for me, it's just going to be an ongoing journey. I think that's what I've really picked up from the course. There's always something to develop. There's always something to improve. There's always a new technique, a new skill, a new learning to be done. So for me, it'll just be an ongoing journey. And I hope I can spend a lot of that time with Tracy as well and coach advancement, because I just found them so fantastic. I'd love to carry on that relationship.